All my dear students of class 8, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I hope you have revised whatever I had done in the last lectures. Now, I had taken up the definition of matter, the kinetic theory of matter, then the states of matter, which explain on the basis of kinetic theory. So, let's quickly revise the states of matter. So, in solids you can see this diagram. This is a solid, and if you see its structure, intermolecular structure, you will see the particles are very closely packed, that is the molecules are very closely packed, and the particles of solid, they possess least kinetic energy, and just because of this there is a very strong intermolecular force of attraction, and the force is it is maximum as compared to gas and liquids. It has the most intermolecular force of attraction, and this, because of this attraction, the space between the molecules is less. Particles are not fed or free to move, and they keep on vibrating about the mean position. Is that clear? And this gives a definite shape and volume to solids. They are hard, as you can see, hard, rigid and incompressible. Then in liquids, the particle or molecules are loosely packed. They are loosely packed, you can see, and the particles of a liquid possess higher kinetic energy than solids. You can see the position of the particles, and the intermolecular force of attraction in a liquid is weak, and the intermolecular space in a liquid is more than solids. You can see there is space between the molecules, isn't it? And here there is no space, very less, negligible space. So therefore what is happening, what happens is the particles are free to move through the whole bulk of the liquid, but they are restricted to move only within the liquid. Not this will keep not jumping from one place to another. This will not jump from its place. It will keep on moving in the whole bulk of the liquid. Therefore, liquids have a definite volume, but they do not have a definite shape, and they take the shape of the container in which they are poured. Is that clear? Then the gaseous state. The gaseous states, the particles are far apart. You can see they are far apart, and they have maximum intermolecular space and minimum or negligible intermolecular attraction. Exactly, as a result, what happens? The particles are they move freely in all the direction, and they collide with each other and as well as the walls of the container, and that is why they do not have a definite shape and volume. They occupy the entire space which is available to them. Exactly, they occupy, the container is big, then also they occupy the whole space, and if it is small, they occupy the whole space. So this is the structure of the solid, liquids and gases based on the kinetic theory of matter. Then the phenomena of change from one state of matter to another and back to the original state is called the interconversion of states of matter. Is that clear? That is one state changing from to other state, and the other state coming back to the original state. So there is conversion from the solid to liquid, liquid to solid, and again back to the liquid state. So this is called as the interconversion of matter. This is interconversion of matter. Is it clear? Now, for example, you have the ice on increasing the temperature, that is at room temperature. If you leave it, it changes into water, that is in the form of a liquid. And further heating, this changes to steam. When you heat it or you boil it, it starts changing into steam. That is called the gaseous state. Now, this change of state of matter can be done in two ways. Can be done by changing the temperature and by changing the pressure. So, two things which can change the state of matter is the change of temperature and change of pressure. Is it clear? You can see this in the diagram. That is, when you heat a solid substance, it changes into liquid. When you heat it, it changes into a liquid. Is that clear? And on further heating, the liquid changes into gas. Is that clear? The liquid is changing into a gas. On the other hand, what happens? If we cool a gas, it changes back into liquid, and then on further cooling the liquid, it changes back into the solid. So you can see these states are interconvertible, that solid changing into liquid and liquid to gas, and gas changing back to liquid and liquid to solid. So this you can see is based on the change in temperature. Once you are heating it, and other time you are cooling it, you are decreasing the temperature. For example, water is a liquid at room temperature, isn't it? And when we heat it at 100 degrees centigrade, it changes into steam. It changes into steam. Is that clear? And this changes on cooling the steam, it changes into water, which is the liquid form. Similarly, when we keep water in a freezer, that is the solid form, it cools and changes into ice, that is the solid form. And when we keep that solid form or ice at room temperature, it changes back into the water, normal liquid water, isn't it? So these change, or when one state changes to other form, other state have certain names. What are these names, or what are these processes? So the process during which a solid changes into its liquid state at a fixed temperature on heating, it is called as melting. Okay? That is a change when a substance from a solid state changes into the liquid state is called melting. So water melts at 0 degrees Celsius, or in terms of Fahrenheit, or it is called as 32 degree Fahrenheit also. So the fixed temperature at which a solid changes into its liquid state is called as the melting point. Is it clear? It is called as the melting point. And different substances have different melting point in the pure state. For example, melting point of pure water, I have just told you, it is 0 degrees Celsius. So what is melting? The process during which a solid changes into its liquid state. Is that clear? It changes into its liquid state at a fixed temperature on heating, and the fixed temperature at which a solid changes into its liquid state is called the melting point, right? Next is evaporation and boiling. So what is boiling basically? So the process during which a liquid changes into its gaseous state at a fixed temperature is called boiling. When you heat a particular liquid, it changes into the gaseous state, and this is called as boiling. And change of water into steam is an example of boiling. Exactly, you have seen that it's a very common example. When water boils, you see a lot of heat coming out, steam coming out, that is called as boiling. You can see this, isn't it? So the steam is coming out, and this is known as boiling. And the fixed temperature at which a liquid changes into gaseous state, it is called as boiling point. At this temperature, what is happening? The pressure of the vapor formed from the liquid becomes equal to the atmospheric pressure. Is that clear? So the boiling point is the fixed temperature at which a liquid changes into the gaseous state. And what happens at this temperature? The pressure of the vapor formed from the liquid becomes equal to the atmospheric pressure. This vapor that is formed is equal to, this pressure of this is equal to the atmospheric pressure. So different substances have different boiling points in their pure state. For example, boiling point of pure water is 100 degrees Celsius. It is not that alcohol, petrol, they all will have the same boiling point. All the liquids have their own boiling point, and pure water has a boiling point of 100 degrees Celsius. Is that clear? Then what is evaporation? Now this process in which a liquid changes into its vapor, that is liquid changing into the gaseous form or vapor form, at temperature below the boiling point. This is called as evaporation. This is normally done when the water bodies are heated. The water vapor rises up, isn't it, and forms the clouds. So that is the process of evaporation. So the change of liquid into vapor at temperature which is below the boiling point. Sorry. This is called as evaporation. So boiling is an extreme form of evaporation. That is when we are heating the liquid. We don't need to heat the liquid. We don't need to boil the liquid. Of course, heating is required, and that heat is being provided by the sun in the case of a water cycle. Otherwise also, if you leave in a saucer of water in a room now, especially nowadays, even though you are not heating, just because the temperatures are high, the water will change into water vapor, and a time will come then water vapor will disappear from the saucer. So that is the change in the liquid. From a liquid it changes into vapor at temperature which is below the boiling point. Then the next process is condensation. So what is condensation? The process during which a gas changes into its liquid state at a fixed temperature on cooling is called as condensation. Now when you suppose you have heated a particular, boiled the water or boiled any other food, when it cools down you see droplets of water on the lid. So that is just because of the process of condensation. That is a gas that is when water vapor changes into its liquid state, or vapor form of a particular thing changes into its liquid state at a fixed temperature on cooling, it is called as condensation. So change of steam into water is an example of condensation. So the fixed temperature at which a gas changes into its liquid state is called condensation. You must have come across this when you're keeping a jug which is having cold water, or a glass containing cold water. And what do you see? You see this kind of droplets, and you keep it for some time. This is known as condensation. That is change from a gaseous state to a liquid state. Is that clear? So the fixed temperature at which a gas changes into its liquid state is called as condensation point. For example, the condensation point of steam is 100 degree Celsius. Is that clear? So when you compare, that is the melting point of pure water is 0 degree Celsius. Boiling point of pure water is 100 degrees Celsius. Then similarly, the condensation point of steam is 100 degree Celsius. Next process is freezing. What is freezing? The process during which a liquid changes into its solid. When you keep water in the freezer, what happens? It changes into the solid form, that is ice. So this is at a fixed temperature and it occurs on cooling. This is called as freezing. Change of water into ice is an example of freezing. So the fixed temperature at which a liquid changes into its solid state, that is called as the freezing point. Is that clear? That is called as the freezing point. And the process during which a liquid changes into its solid state at a fixed temperature on cooling, it is called as the process of freezing. The freezing point of pure water is 0 degree Celsius. Remember this. The freezing point and melting point of pure water are both 0 degree Celsius. Is that clear? Next is sublimation. What do you mean by the process of sublimation? Very common example is that after using your woolens at home, your mother must be using the naphthalene balls, the white color balls at home. Now, those also known as the moth balls, MOTH balls, or the naphthalene balls. And when you start during the winters, when you take the clothes out, those balls have disappeared. So that is just because of process which is known as sublimation. Now certain substances, without directly changing from the solid to the liquid state, then to the gaseous state, they directly change into the gaseous state. That is, the sublimation is the process during which a solid directly changes into its gaseous state on heating. Is that clear? It is called as sublimation. this is called as sublimation. So the change of solid iodine into its vapor on heating is an example of sublimation. So the process during which a gas directly changes into its solid state on cooling is called as deposition. Sublimation is the change from a solid state directly into a gas. Another opposite to this, another process is there, this is known as deposition. So the process during which a gas directly changes into its solid state on cooling, it is called as deposition. The gas changes phase and turns directly into solid. Is that clear? Without passing through the liquid state. It is also the opposite of sublimation. So these are the different processes that you have done today, that is melting, boiling, condensation, freezing, sublimation and deposition. Now what are the different reasons based on the kinetic theory of matter? How do these changes take place? Now the particles of a solid, we know they vibrate about their mean position. They keep on vibrating, they will not move unless and until they are heated. I have told you when I was telling about the structure that when we increase the temperature, the kinetic energy of the molecules increases. So when we heat the solids, what happens? The constant particle or the molecules, they gain energy and they start vibrating more vigorously, that is with more energy. And when they are moving with more energy, what will happen? And we keep on giving them more heat, they acquire more kinetic energy, they keep on acquiring more and more kinetic energy. And the time comes, that is at the melting point of that particular solid, the particles of a solid have sufficient kinetic energy and they break through the attractive forces, intermolecular force of attraction that holds them in fixed position. They break those forces, and once they break the forces, then what happens? They change their position here and there, and once they leave their position, they are converted into the next form, that is the liquid form. So the strong intermolecular force of attraction that hold them in fixed position, they are overcome just because of the increased kinetic energy, and the particles start moving and the substance in solid state changes into the liquid state. This is called as melting. Is that clear? So this temperature at which, the fixed temperature at which this is taking place is the melting point. And we continue heating this liquid. What happened? The particles, they acquire more kinetic energy just because of this heat. And at the boiling point, what happened? The particles of a liquid have sufficient kinetic energy to overcome the intermolecular force of attraction that binds the particles of the liquid. I told you there is some force of attraction between the liquid molecules also, although it is less as compared to that of solid. But when we continue heating the liquid, this force of attraction is overcome and the particles move free to move in the direction, in any direction, as you can see over here, and the substance in liquid state changes into the gaseous state. So the liquid state changes into the gaseous state. This is called as boiling. Is that clear? This is boiling. Similarly, what happens when a substance in gaseous state is cooled? Now this is all, that is solid changing into liquid and liquid changing into gas. That is the process of melting and then boiling. They take place when we are heating up the different states. But when we cool the different states, what will happen? Then this substance, when in gaseous state, what happens? It is cooled. The constant particle, they lose their kinetic energy. Whatever kinetic energy they had gained, they start losing it. And at the condensation point, the intermolecular force of attraction increases and the intermolecular space decreases. Is that clear? Just because of the attractive forces which are increasing, the particles come close together and they change into the liquid. and the movement of the particle decreases and the substance in gaseous state changes into the liquid state, as you can see. So this process is known as condensation. On further cooling this, what happens? The kinetic energy of the particle decreases further, and at freezing point the intermolecular force of attraction increases and the intermolecular space becomes negligible. The particles do not move from the position and the substance in liquid state changes into the solid state. This is known as freezing. So on cooling, the process is from the gas to the liquid is condensation, and from the liquid to the solid is known as freezing. So the substances that undergo sublimation have very weak intermolecular force of attraction, and when these substances are heated, the particles gain kinetic energy and they start vibrating vigorously. So the intermolecular force of attraction decreases and the particle escapes from the surface of the solid as vapor. Solid changes into gas. Similarly, when the vapor is cooled, the particle lose their kinetic energy and come closer, thus the gas changes into the solid state. So in sublimation and in deposition, what is happening? Just because of the very weak intermolecular force of attraction, on heating and cooling, whatever process from a solid to the gaseous state or back from the gas to the solid takes place just by the gain and the loss of energy, that is the kinetic energy. Is that clear? So these are the processes based on the explanation based on the kinetic theory of matter. How are these processes taking place? Next is change of a state of matter by changing the pressure. Now we can even change the physical state of matter by changing the pressure. For example, the LPG, the gas domestic cylinders that you are using for cooking, are containing LPG, that is liquefied petroleum gas, LPG. Is that clear? And this is done how? This is done under high pressure. When we open the valve of a regulator, the pressure releases and this LPG comes out in the form of a gas. We can smell that gas and we lit up that gas in the burner, but inside the cylinder it is present in the form of a liquid, and this liquid is compressed, and when we open or release the valve, what happens? It is converted into the gaseous form. That is just because of the change of pressure, the liquid changes into gas and the gas has changed into liquid and stored in these cylinders. Now you also get this kind of cylinders of many gases, oxygen, hydrogen, carbon dioxide, and these are also present in the form of liquid inside. So a gas changes into liquid state by applying high pressure and lowering its temperature. So we get liquid oxygen and liquid hydrogen in this way, that is by applying high pressure and we lowering the temperature. So this is the cylinder of oxygen. So in the next turn we will proceed on further to the law of conservation of mass. Please revise the chapter. Allah Hafiz.